don't count him out. I think that's a very dangerous fight for Jake Paul. But at the end of the day, we could have a big upset, But I think that AJ is too much for Jake Paul at this point, and he's bigger than Jake Paul, in my opinion.
AJ is 1-0 against these guys that come in to these boxing careers late. So why not? He's a perfect guy to take him out too. He took Ngannou out. Why would he not take Jake Paul out?
This might be a step too far. Now, when I say it, I try to be responsible. I've been in this game 50 years, so I know where not to step, where you could twist an ankle, or worse, you could break a leg or fall down.
But if I can beat Jake Paul, then excuse my French, what the f*** is Anthony Joshua going to do to Jake Paul? I think my dad said that AJ could beat him with his prick, and I completely will back that up. Even if AJ had a broken arm in there.
Those are weighing in on the shocking Jake Paul versus Anthony Joshua matchup, and opinions are sharply divided. Many boxing analysts say Joshua's size, experience, and Olympic background give him a huge advantage. They believe he can get an early stoppage if he applies steady pressure. Others point out Jake Paul's fast improvement, disciplined training camps, and his willingness to face bigger opponents. They argue he could win rounds with movement and counterpunching. Still, most professionals see Joshua as the heavy favorite because of his power and ring IQ. But the hype around Jake Paul keeps the fight exciting, and fans are curious to see if he can surprise people again. Tommy Fury sees the matchup as extremely one-sided because of the big difference in size and experience. He focuses on the reality of heavyweight boxing. Elite heavyweights have trained for decades. Their power is on a level lighter fighters, and especially novices, do not understand. Fury believes the physical
beat Jake Paul. And excuse my French, what the f*** is Anthony Joshua going to do to Jake Paul? I think my dad said that AJ could beat him with his prick, and I completely will back that up. Even if AJ had a broken arm in there, it still wouldn't go past a minute. To be quite honest with you, and as a safety aspect, there's no way that fight can go ahead. At the end of the day, my God, how good does it make me look? He gets beat by Jake Paul. Well, that automatically makes me two-time heavyweight champion of the world, doesn't it? There's no proper way. I've got to laugh about it. How are we even talking about this? He got his nut boxed off by me a little over 2 years ago. And now all of a sudden, he's talking about fighting Anthony Joshua. It's like, come on. Like, you can't be serious. You can't beat me. I'm not Anthony Joshua, am I? So
Eric Chisora focuses on toughness and experience. As someone who has fought almost every major heavyweight of this era, he judges Jake Paul by looking at true ring toughness. He says Jake has never been pushed into deep and dangerous moments by elite heavyweights. The brutal nature of heavyweight boxing leaves no room for beginners. Chisora believes the fight will end quickly and violently. He says the size and power difference between Anthony Joshua and Jake Paul so huge that he cannot imagine the fight lasting more than 5 rounds. In his view, if the fight somehow goes past 5 rounds, it would mean Joshua underperformed or held back. The difference in experience and natural heavyweight strength is too big for the matchup to go long.
I know you say it's entertainment and there'll be a massive audience, but is there an element of danger as well? Look, AJ's a former world champion, and this is a guy, the best he's been in with is Tommy Fury.
Listen, he don't really care. In the boxing ring, it's the only place you can murder somebody and not go to jail. So, kudos to that. So if he gets beaten up and something happens, it's part of the game.
Well, I'm not sure that's a game that people will want to see, though.
Is it a real fight, though? Is this going to be a proper fight? You will know more than most.
Mate, let me tell you something. From how much they're getting paid, about 177 million, whatever, and they're splitting down the middle. So I hope it's not a game, because I want to see some blood. I want to see somebody's teeth falling out. So I told Anthony, I already messaged Anthony. I was like, listen, I tell you what, I said to AJ, if this goes past 5 rounds, everybody's going to be having a go at you, because you can't go past 5 rounds with this kid. He has to go past 1 round or 2 rounds. Past beyond 4 or 5 rounds, people are going to be doubting you as a fighter himself. So he has to smoke him out like what he did Francis Ngannou in Saudi Arabia in 1 round.
Yeah, and I think you're dead right. Is he worried about that? Is he worried about what happens, if he doesn't see him off in the first round or the second round?
Nah, he's not worried about it. He's gonna smoke this guy out. I'm not worried about it. I'm gonna smoke this guy out properly. I'll be there. He's gonna smoke him. I can't wait.
Theoretically, if he comes out swinging, right, AJ should be able to get it done in are we talking 30 seconds? If AJ is giving it everything he's got.
Listen, if AJ comes in there and just blows on this kid, he's gonna just drop him to the floor. So I don't really. I'm just wasting money going to Miami because I know it's gonna be finished in one round. So it don't matter.
Are you gonna go?
Oh yeah.
Joseph Parker looks at the fight with a professional mindset. He believes a fighter like Joshua, who has trained for years with world-class coaches and sparred with champions, has technical skills that Jake Paul has not developed yet. Parker respects Jake for taking difficult fights, but he still sees Joshua as too polished and too experienced.
Has said that he's interested in doing Anthony Joshua versus Jake Paul.
Let's talk about fights that make sense. Jake Paul's doing whatever Jake Paul does. If Joshua's serious about wanting to stay in boxing, then fight good, real fights, if that's what you want to do. I mean, if you want to go down this other road and do this, then that's by all means do it. But it's a different journey and it's a different pathway. I think as fighters who've been in the game for a long time, I want real fights. If I was given the opportunity to fight Jake Paul, would I take it? No.
Not even for the money, no.
No, I want to be champion of the world. That's my goal.
Evander Holyfield judges the matchup based on mentality and conditioning. He respects Jake's fitness and his desire to improve, but he believes Joshua is far more experienced in long and tough fights. Holyfield says that surviving heavyweight pressure, not just punching, makes Joshua almost impossible for Jake Paul to beat. He also points out how hard it is to deal with the physical strength of a natural heavyweight.
I would love to see that myself. I would love to see that fight. Interesting.
Who do you lean towards?
It's just gonna be. It would just be a good fight. It's a good fight, but being the best. Because my whole thing, I don't want nobody to think I want somebody. I like boxing, and whoever wins.
David Benavidez Sr. has given a shocking assessment of the matchup. He says Jake Paul is stepping into a danger level he has never faced before. According to him, the fight could expose the limits of Jake's fast rise in boxing. He believes Joshua's size, strength, and championship experience create a situation where Jake could take serious damage if he is not extremely careful. He argues that Jake's confidence and power will not matter once he faces a real heavyweight who has fought at the highest level of the sport.
I think that's a very dangerous fight for Jake Paul. But at the end of the day, we could have a big upset, But I think that AJ is too much for Jake Paul at this point, and he's bigger than Jake Paul, in my opinion.
Do you think it's competitive? A lot of people are saying if AJ doesn't get him out of there in 2 rounds, it'll be a huge embarrassment.
I don't think that's not the case, that he's gonna get Jake Paul. At the end of the day, Jake Paul has been training hard too, and he's a pretty good fighter. I don't think he would take him out in 2-3 rounds. I think maybe in the later rounds, or it might go to decision, but I don't think that Jake Paul can take AJ out. Or AJ could take Jake Paul. Maybe, but I don't know. It's just going to be an exciting fight. I think
Roy Jones gave an unexpected point of view. He said the fight must make sense for Joshua both in competition and financially. And he reminded everyone that Joshua is a real former world champion. Jones clearly said, "Did you see what Anthony Joshua did to Francis Ngannou? The same thing happens to Jake Paul. If you think someone who is not a full-time boxer will beat Anthony Joshua, then you are crazy."
Change subjects just a little bit here, and Anthony Joshua, there's rumours circulating he could be fighting Jake Paul next. 1, do you think it's good for boxing, and 2, do you think the fight will happen?
I think it's great for boxing. I think the fight will happen. AJ is 1-0 against these guys that come in to these boxing careers late. So why not? He's a perfect guy to take him out too. He took Ngannou out. Why would he not take Jake Paul out? And for him, he'd probably make more money fighting Jake Paul than we'll fight anybody else that he can fight right now. So why would he not do it? Not that he needs the money right now anyway, but if he's going to do something, if you want to get a good win, to put him...
The interviewer asked, Anthony Joshua might fight Jake Paul next. Do you think it is good for boxing? And do you think the fight will happen? The guest replied, I think it is great for boxing. I think the fight will happen. AJ is 1-0 against these guys who come into boxing careers late. So why not? He is the perfect guy to take him out to. He took Ganu out. Why would he not take Jake Paul out? And he will probably make more money fighting Jake Paul than anyone else right now. So why would he not do it? He does not even need the money, but if he wants a good win to put him back on the scene, this is the perfect win, and he will make a lot of money doing it.